We're going to get started because we have a very illustrious panel here, and I want to give everybody a chance to talk a little bit on their own first, and then we're going to have a question and answer, and hopefully that'll take the majority of our time. So just to put this topic in perspective, take a very broad look here and think of the evolution of scholarly publishing. The quest to disseminate scientific discoveries and scholarly thought has always embraced new technologies as they became available. From the very earliest technology, which is writing itself, the library, the printing press, the database, the search engine, and the web. And each of these encounters with technology has been disruptive of what went before it. Technology continues to disrupt, and the disruption is happening in ever shorter cycles. In this session, we'll hear from some of the disruptors. We'll hear from industry insiders, industry leaders who have devoted their creative energies and financial resources to develop the full potential of web technology. In the process, they are enabling new forms of scholarly communication and new opportunities for readers and researchers to connect, and they're doing it all at an unprecedented speed. The goal for this session will be to leverage the collective wisdom of the panel and of you, the audience, to help us all understand how this latest technological disruption is affecting our industry. What does it mean for traditional book and journal publishers? How is it changing the roles of editors, publishers, scholars, researchers, the staff of all of these organizations? So if you think about this in very, very simplistic terms, the digital platform, which started in the 80s, it extended the print publishing paradigm. Essentially, content continued to be contained within books and journals, but just placed online. If there are any more seats, would you raise a hand if you have a seat next to you, because we have a few more people standing in the back. Yeah, please come in. But throughout the digital platform era, essentially the fundamental role of the publisher and the reliance of the book and the journal as the container of content pretty much remained the same. The cloud era is a different story. It's fundamentally decentralized the dissemination of scholarly information. We see that the library has been disintermediated. The search engine even has been disintermediated, and we're seeing the deconstruction of the packaging of content from its traditional containers. This is truly something new, and that's what we want to talk about here. So Tracy Gardner and Simon Inger published a study last year, which many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with. It pointed out some pretty significant changes in the ways that users find scholarly content. And it compared their responses to the same questions in 2012 and 2015. So you can see here the rise in the use of reference linking, the use of related articles, as opposed to the decline, relatively, in search, citation alerts, and the direct promotion of articles by a publisher, whether it be editor's choice or in news releases. So in this panel, we'll hear from 6 highly accomplished companies who have embraced this new paradigm and who each play a leading role in using new technologies in ways that are changing how scholarly information is published, discovered, disseminated, shared, and used. Over the course of this discussion, you'll hear some recurring themes in their goals and in their business models, in ways that as a group, these companies represent new opportunities for serving the needs of a larger community of publishers, authors, and researchers. Collaborative Knowledge Foundation has developed a variety of software tools and workflows based on their open stack to help researchers manage and archive their research publicly or privately. eLife publishes outstanding research in the life sciences and biomedicine. It's an online-only open access journal. It was truly born in the cloud era. It was launched at the end of 2012, made it a part of their core mission to encourage broad change across the research communication landscape. The Center for Open Science is a nonprofit technology organization with a mission to increase openness, integrity, and reproducibility of scholarly research. The Open Science Framework is an open source software project that facilitates open collaboration in science research. I'm using the word open a lot, and that's significant. Hypothesis is an open source software project that provides functionality to enable and collect comments within context for any web accessible content and to enable users to filter and rank those comments and to enhance the content. Essentially, it's creating a layer of assessment and peer review on top of the traditional journal or book. TrendMD is a discovery engine for scholarly research. The TrendMD widget surfaces recommended articles on medical journals, blogs, and other sites that doctors and researchers use in their day-to-day work. And finally, Science.ai is breaking the traditional mold of how journals are created by enabling anyone to set up a journal, including manuscript submission, peer review workflows, business models, and user interfaces. So let me introduce our panel. Kristen Fisher-Rattan is the co-founder of the Collaborative Knowledge Foundation. Kristen has a 20-year history working to accelerate advances in science and research communication, most recently as publisher at the Public Library of Science, and prior to that having held leadership positions at Highwire Press, Adipon, and Biosis. Paul Shannon is head of technology at eLife, going from, yeah, you can see that. He was previously VP of Technology for innovative digital music platform 7 Digital, where he grew the team and scaled the API platform to support the vastly changing music technology industry. Jeff Spies, who's actually sitting over here, since we have too much of a crowd here, you want to wave there, Jeff. He's the Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of the Center for Open Science. Jeff has a PhD in quantitative psychology from the University of Virginia, where he now holds a visiting scholar position in the Department of Engineering and Society. His dissertation included the development of the Open Science Framework that is now the flagship product of his company, the Center for Open Science. Dan Whaley, right next to me here, is the founder and president of Hypothesis. In 1994, Dan launched the online travel industry as the coder and entrepreneur who founded the Internet Travel Network, which was later became the basis of Sabre, which we all use today to book our flights. And the first airline reservation made over the web was booked on a server that was in Dan's living room back in 1995. Paul Kudlow, who's sitting in the middle seat there, he graduated from medical school in 2013. Instead of continuing into medical practice, he co-founded TrendMD, a Y Combinator venture-backed company with 30 employees, now in use by over 3,600 journals and seen by over 80 million readers each month. In addition to his work at TrendMD, Paul is completing a PhD in the areas of bibliometrics and content discovery, and from the Institute of Medical Sciences at the University of Toronto. And lastly, we have sitting in for Tiffany Bogich, who was delayed in New York this morning, Robin Burjon, who is the Chief Technical Officer for Standard Analytics, Science.ai, and he'll be sitting in for Tiffany. Standard Analytics has created Science.ai, which is a new way to provide publishers with everything needed to publish your scholarly journals. So we're going to start off with brief presentations by each of the panelists, and then move on to our discussion. And we're going to start with Kristen.